This week on the Spotlight, the Big Hurt. Everybody knows Frank Thomas, and he's talking to our man Jerry Cook. Michael Jordan. A lot of people know him too. He was a fixture on this show. And then we will move on to Brian Marchment. A little less famous, but a solid Blackhawk. The Blackhawks are a fun team. And then we go to the football wars with Samurai Mike. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, it's the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Ballpark Pub for my trivia. It's magical. Alternate Mondays at 8 p.m. September 4th, come eat, drink, play, and win. 514 West Pershing Road. You'll have a great time. Eat, drink, and all that. Bye. You've got to get to the Sock. Live Benkowski Trivia. Alternate Thursdays, 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. You've got to get to the Wise Owl at Van Buren and Racine. Pizzas, pork sliders, Cuban sandwiches, carrot soup, elote, burgers, tacos, salads, and more. Great cocktails and great bartenders. A tremendous array at the Wise Owl, Van Buren and Racine. See you there. Lulu's has it all. Italian beef, hot dogs, burgers, chicken, gyros, fish, salads, subs, ribs. At Taylor and Ogden, 2200 West. A great place. Lulu's has what you need. Stop in, check it out, eat there, take it with you. Lulu's a great, great West Side tradition. The opener of the 1991 Bears season was a matchup against the defending Super Bowl champion New York Giants. And the Bears were licking their chops at the prospect of knocking off the existing #1 team in the league.
When you see this beautiful play-action fake and the bomb to Wendell Davis and the score making it 10-0 over the defending Super Bowl champs, you get pretty excited. In fact, so excited that Neil himself was looking for the goal line or the back of the end zone or something and actually missed what could have been 17-0. But Neil, you are forgiven because Jim Harbaugh comes through with this clutch kind of semi-scramble up the middle here and sets up the field goal that makes it 13-0 at the half. Unfortunately, Neil, a little distracted by some other things maybe, fumbles here. And that led to a field goal to make it 13-3. Bears still in command. But it was a weak third quarter, you might say. This interception by Mark Collins sets the stage for another New York rush. But it came down to the goal line, and O.J. Anderson stopped cold for 0. Then O.J. Anderson stopped cold for 0 again. The Bears defense, tough. Jeff Hostetler, though, finds that little guy Meggett, who seems to get away under all circumstances, gets it close to the goal line, and that sets up Rodney Hampton, who cuts the lead to 13-10. And things were getting scary entering the fourth quarter. And they should have been, because Rodney Hampton comes back and gives the Giants a 17-13 lead. Jim Harbaugh bringing the Bears back. This could have been fatal. Carl Banks drops the interception that would have ended the game. And 3 plays later, he pays dearly. Because Neil Anderson, after a couple of those miscues, gets outside and blows by people. Look at the afterburners. Look at the dive. He didn't know it was a touchdown yet, but the replay official said it was. After a long delay, the kick was good, 2017. Then the dangerous time, Matt Barr worrying. Can I make the kick? Here it was. Matt Bahr, for the second time in the game, doesn't come through with the kick. As you can see, it partially blocked. And the Bears have a victory over the defending Super Bowl champions. The Bears continuing to play their clutch games at home against top-flight opponents. And despite a rather conservative offense in the second half, pull it out by the skin of their teeth. And Mike Ditka and company should be elated, as these fans here at Soldier Field are. Another tremendous home win. In the post-game tent, I said, Mike Ditka, you had great offense, wide open in the first half. What happened in the second half?
We had the ball backed up to the goal line in the second half. We didn't have the ball anywhere we could really work with it. We tried to work some things, and we ended up with 2 turnovers, a fumble and an interception. The interception, we had somebody open. Jim made a bad read on it. Jim played an outstanding game. He made a bad read on that play alone. So if we go to the outside guy on the play, we might end up with a long touchdown there because Kaz came wide open. But that's part of football. In the heat of the game, sometimes you don't do everything you want to do. As far as being wide open, when you got a 13-point lead against the world champions, you try to do some things. You try to take some time off the clock. You try to be not totally conservative, but you try to be intelligent about what you're doing. That's all we try to do. We didn't try to go into a shell. You got to give them credit because they came out the second half and they played very inspired football and they stuffed us pretty good. So it's a game, and like I said, one play can make a difference in a game, and in this case, it came down to the last play of the game, and it worked out for us this week.
Mike, you've been on the wrong end.
Perry blocked the field goal. He got the tallest guy on the team, William Perry.
You've been on the wrong end of enough.
He hit him right in the stomach.
We're back on the spotlight, and so much for the Michigan quarterback stigma. Jim Harbaugh playing brilliantly, and he was asked what he learned about his Bears teammates this week.
Found out that we could come back, suck it up from some mistakes. Neil made a fumble, and he comes back and runs, I don't know how many yards for the game-winning touchdown. I threw an interception that was just a choke. I just literally choked on it. And then I came back and played well enough to move the chains and get us in scoring position. So I was proud of myself for bouncing back like that. And I think the whole team bounced back when we got behind.
For the first time in a long time, the Bears' offense fooled an opposing defense. And I asked Jim Harbaugh what he felt about that, at least in the first half.
Well, we played good. I think we were hitting the passes. Wendell Davis comes up with another long touchdown pass. The protection was there once again against one of the fiercest rushers in football. And we played pretty good. We mixed it up. It was good play calling also.
I'm just really, excited about Fridge and what he does and what he brings to our team. And he's continued to work and to get better, and that's really what it's all about. Dante is a good football player, solid football player, and he's working hard as well.
Like in big games, we've seen some goal line stands like the Bears of old. Are you seeing that ultra grittiness down in those 4th and 1, 4th and 2 situations like the old Bears?
Well, old Bears, new Bears, or whatever. It's just a matter of making the plays when you have to. When your back's up against the wall,
That's a big play, and that goal line stand is a type of play that goes a long way during the season as far as just inspiring confidence in each other and confidence in our coaches and the defense.
Do you see the offensive surge after that? That's usually a byproduct of it.
Yeah, the momentum is a funny thing, and it decided to come over and sit on our sidelines for a while after that, and the offense did a great job of mixing plays up and coming up with some big plays. Things didn't go their way in the second half, but for a while they didn't go our way either. And both sides of the ball just hung in there and made it happen.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furlan, DDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage.
The resignation on the faces of the Atlanta Hawks was evident in the final minutes. In fact, in my opinion, it was evident in the latter half of the game. Despite the fact that the referees helped keep the game close, this game was decided fairly early, and it was the play of Michael and Scotty for the most part, and especially Horace on defense, that helped decide it.
Defense. Our defense wasn't the same in the games we beat them early in the year. That's the difference.
Dominic, one of the things seems to be the three-pointers were key because they would get a man open. Nobody was there to put a hand in the faces of the shot.
Well, I tell you what, we had a lot of good shots. We had a lot of good shots. Shots that rolled in and out. We got some down low that rolled in and out. We got in the paint. Missed shots.
Another key is the bench play. The Bulls bench has been outplaying your bench right now.
Their bench been playing well, very well. I have to give them credit. Guys like Purdue, Tucker coming off the bench, Paxson, Williams, those guys are playing well for them.
Well, it's a matter of knowing what the playoffs are all about, and we're a pretty good defensive team when we have time to dissect a team and understand what they want to run. That's been one of our strengths the last few years, so we're just going to try to do it. Playoff basketball becomes half-court a lot of times, and if you recognize the other team's sets and have a philosophy on defending them, then you're usually in pretty good shape. And right now, we understand what Atlanta wants to run, and we're defending it pretty well.
Did you know the Bulls would step it up the way they have in these two games?
Well, no one can be guaranteed of anything in life, right, except taxes and death. That's the two things. And so, I was assured that I felt that we'd have energy. But, watching the games last night of, Cleveland and of the L.A. Clippers and Houston, you could just see teams came out the second game, played harder, played determined, and a lot of teams didn't rise to the challenge. And, of course, as a coach, you're always worried that your team isn't going to play hard or be ready to adjust to that hard play of the underdog or the guys that are one game down. And I was disappointed when I went in at half and they had really initiated the action, I felt, the whole first half, but we got it back the second.
Michael, this makes the Atlanta success against you in the regular season look fairly meaningless. Do you agree with that?
Well, it's not over yet. When it's over, then I answer to that. But right now, we got a 2-0. Yeah, it's looking in that favor, looking towards that. But basically, we still got one game to win, and they go home. They're gonna have, I'm pretty sure, some very enthusiastic crowds there, and they're gonna be very intense themselves. And I think if we can go out there and play the game that we've been playing here on the road, we can certainly put them at rest.
But the burning question, what would happen in Atlanta? Michael Jordan would still be able to score. Bobby Rice would be angry about the results. And of all things, will Purdue on the baseline drive, not the Hawks' night. And a little bit of defense thrown in for good measure. Scotty, get the hand in there, cut down that passing lane, take it coast to coast. Bulls in a sweep. We'll be back with more in just a moment. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388
3700.
And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery, too.
That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski.
You've got to get to the Sock Live Minkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great game, great people. Check out the Sock. I think you'll be glad you did when you go to my trivia game every other Thursday. 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, Parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's.
Back in the spotlight, and the Blackhawks need improvement in the latter part of the road trip. Hard-hitting defense, maybe? It could be provided by Brian Marchment. Mr. Hipcheck.
Well, I don't know if it's not part of the game, I don't think there's a lot of people that take advantage of the situation. I've grown up doing it all my life and did it all through junior, did it in the minors, did it when I was in Winnipeg, and I'm just starting to do it now, and I feel good about it, and just because people don't think it's right or whatever, I'm still going to keep on doing it.
What do you think when you get whistled for it?
When I get whistled for it? Well, if it's a dirty check, then I deserve the penalty. But, as far as players coming after me after I hit a clean hit, that's part of the game too. If, you hit a guy like Sakic, that's their best player. Of course, guys are going to come after you and say stuff to you, but the same as our team would do if somebody like JR or Larmer or Goulet got hit, you can't let guys take advantage of your superstars like that, but then again, you can't let them deke you out of your pants and walk in and score a goal either. So that's what I think about it.
What's the difference in this club the last few games compared with earlier in the season?
Well, we're playing more as a team, and we're, at the start of the season, we kind of said that that was no excuse and everything, but I think we're starting to come together as more of a team. We guys are getting to know each other's style of play a little better, and we're hitting a lot more and playing a lot better defensively, and obviously it helps to have Eddie Belford in the net. He helps a lot moving the puck out, talking, and making the big saves.
Does he make you play better?
Well, when you have confidence in a goalie like that, of course it makes you play better. There's certain things you can try that you wouldn't try in another game, and when you have a goalie like Eddie Belford, you can take a few chances, and usually it turns out the right way.
To wrap up, when you go on your Western swing, and that's coming up, you got a game against the Jets, and I wonder what it's going to be like going back there the first time.
I've been looking forward to that a lot, actually. I asked Brownie about it the other day. I wasn't sure when we were going in there, but I guess it is this long road trip that's coming up. We're going in there, so I'm pumped for that game already, but I'm not going to get too far ahead. I'm going to go in there and hopefully play a real strong game and let them know that they made a mistake for 4 years.
With the Hawks and Bulls out of town, the Sox and Cubs made headlines with new managers. First, Jim Lefevre tells me about which winning Dodger traits he'll bring to the North Side.
Well, of course, the Dodgers were, our big thing was fundamentals. We believed that defense was one of the most important parts. Of course, we had a great pitching staff, such as Drysdale and Koufax and Claude Olstein, and we had a great bullpen, so that helped out an awful lot. But the pitching and defense, what that does is give you an opportunity to go out there every single day and gives you a chance to win. And when you have the pitching and defense that gives you a chance to win every day, that makes every day very important. That makes every pitch very important, makes every inning very important. When you're that close, that means that, it's very exciting. What we have to do is to know that we are capable of winning those one-run games. We can save those one-run games. And what is that? That's defense. That's doing the little extra things. Offensively, we were a ball club that was a team that stole a base. Junior Gilliam would move him to third. We would get a little flare in for a base hit, and we'd win the game 1-0 because we had the great pitching. We learned that the little things that you need to do to score one run. You know, I tell you what, we used to play teams like the Cubs, and we used to play the Giants, and we used to play some teams like Pittsburgh, great offensive ball clubs. They could score 4 or 5 runs. But when they needed to score 1 run to win a game in the 8th or 9th inning, sometimes they had trouble doing that because they didn't work on the fundamentals. That's all we did. We perfected that. So what we want to do, like I said, is to be able to have a complete balanced game. The Cubs have a lot of power, got a lot of offense. And believe me, it'd be nice for me to sit back and watch that day in and day out, but sometimes it doesn't work that way.
Well, fever seems intense enough. You got to hope he can light a fire under the Cubs' rear ends in 1992, because they need it. Just stay on the good side of the veterans, Jim. Meanwhile, on the south side, Gene Lamont says goodbye to Pittsburgh and hello Chicago. It's cool that he appeared so grateful for the opportunity to manage in the majors, and it's true the White Sox are probably just 1 or 2 players away from at least a divisional title, if not more. But it's time for Ron Schuler to put the final pieces of the puzzle together and keep winning and getting Carlton Fisk under contract. That's very important. But you know what the coolest thing is? Both press conferences carried live on Sports Channel. This is the place to be for sports news as it happens.
You've got to get to Jack's, 3325 Ridge Road in Lansing. Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. A very intense competitive game. Any of half a dozen teams can win. You've got to get to Oliver's, 6100 West 159th Street. Our live trivia game switches to Wednesday nights. September 13th, I'll be there. I'll see you at 7 o'clock for food, drink, and fun. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. Trivia will be at the Sock. Alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great food, great drink, great people. Everything great. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place.
Of course, we're speaking of Frank Thomas, who really lit it up last week. And Jerry Cook, the veteran sportscaster, talked to him about a variety of subjects.
All right, what about this white and strike zone? I mean, you like to walk a lot because you want to pick out you want to hit strikes, just like Ted Williams used to. But all of a sudden they got a different strike zone. Have you adapted to it?
Well, the first couple of weeks I think they really were trying to make it a little bigger, but now I think the umpires settled back down to what they're accustomed to doing, and it's been pretty much the same the last few days. Maybe because I'm swinging so well, and they know if it's close up there right now, we'll be swinging. So, but the first couple of weeks were really tough, but I think the umpires are going to go back to doing what they're accustomed to doing.
When you're in a zone like you are right now and you're swinging well, does that ball look slow and white and coming up there so you can see the stitches, or can you explain it?
No, not at all. Like I said, I'm not in a super zone yet. I'm like I said, I've had a lot of base runners on, and I've been getting a big base hit here, and I've only hit 3 home runs. So, and I've been fortunate that those home runs guys were on base. So, like I said, if I had 3 home runs and they were all solo, it wouldn't be a big deal. But I've had a bunch of men aboard, and I've been fortunate these guys have been swinging at a 330 clip.
I was in Sarasota watching you take grounder after ground ball at first base. You really, really worked hard in your defense this spring, and it's paid off so far this season.
So far, I'm very happy with the way I've been playing defensively, but I still got a long way to go, and I'm going to keep working the entire season. I just can't get complacent anymore. I've made 2 errors so far, and I'm really upset at both of those because they were very easy plays. But sometimes those things just happen. I'm going to continue to work, and hopefully I can cut down on what I had last year.
I've seen you pick up 4 or 5 out of the dirt already, and I can remember years past when that didn't happen.
Well, like I said, it's paying off a little bit. Like I said, though, I can't just say, it stops right here. I'm not going to work anymore. I've become a good first baseman because I haven't. I still got a long way to go, and like I said, before the season's over, hopefully I'll be a decent first baseman.
You could win 9 Gold Gloves at first base, and people would still look at you and say, "All right, he's offense."
That's me. I'm an offensive player, and everyone knows that. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm an offensive player. But I got to go out and do a decent job at first for this team to win.
All right, you and I were talking a little bit before this interview. I saw you at several Bulls games this season with this new young addition to your family. How has that changed you in being a father?
It's changed a lot. I got 2 people to think about now, my wife and my kid. And I'm at home every night, possible, because I want to see this guy grow up, and he's growing up really fast. So, like I said, when we're on the road, I miss him a lot, and when we're at home, we just can't miss, spending time with him.
When you're on the road, I mean, you're still young. I mean, you call home and talk to the wife. Does she put him by the phone?
Most definitely. It's great to hear the little goos and guys and whatever else is coming out of his mouth at the time. But like I said, that's really helped a lot, and I'm really concentrating a lot this season.
Really, that's what it's all about, isn't it? The family.
Family is everything.
I tell you what, Mo is more of a kid than anybody. I can joke around with all those guys. You go out there, and if it's a tense situation, we'll crack a joke or something just to ease the tension. And particularly with Mike Morgan, he loves that type of thing. That really, he likes to be relaxed and go out there and do his job, and that helps him. I haven't found myself in a whole lot of situations where I've had to go out there and choose someone. Where Frank Castillo is concerned, Frank and I have come along, through the minor leagues. We were on the same rookie ball club together. So Frank and I have known each other a long time, and we just know each other very well. We can say anything to each other and be kind of blunt about things because we understand each other. And I think it's just the development of our relationship over the years. We've known each other for such a long time, and I know I made reference to that earlier, but that's just the way it is. It's just the development of relationships and understanding each other and what motivates each pitcher, and they know what motivates me, and that's how we go about it.
To wrap up, from the hitting point of view, now that the weather is broken and it would seem that people could start cranking on the ball, we just earlier talked to Sammy Sosa, and he was emphasizing how he didn't intend to try for home runs, but he was going to stay relaxed and let things happen. How does that mirror what you intend to do at the plate this year, and compared to what maybe you've done so far?
Well, I haven't exactly had a whole lot of success at the plate yet, but I'm swinging the bat extremely well, and that's what you have to do on an everyday basis, and that's what I see the veterans doing every day, that I see play every day. They take an approach to the plate, and they stay in that approach, and that's what I'm doing. I'm swinging the bat extremely well. I'm happy with the way I'm swinging the bat. I've been unfortunate. I could have a lot better numbers from an offensive standpoint than I do, and I'm not really that concerned about it. My hitting's going to come around. I know I can hit, and everybody else in the club does too, and I don't think it's a big deal. So I'm just going out there.
You've been watching the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Perfect Pitch located at 108th and Kedzie. Take your vehicles there for great repairs. This week's show has been brought to you by the Lansing Floral Shop.
Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero.
Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.